2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Indiana Pacers. Checking out the Pacers, the season hasn't gone as smoothly for them as I'm sure they hoped it would. The good news is we still have a good chunk of it left to play. But if they're going to make a run, they better do it soon. And tonight, two teams that love to get in transition. Shaq, talk about successfully running the break.
Well, I'm not a guard, but I have led the break before. And what you need to do, you got to keep your eyes ahead, have to see the whole floor. You got to be willing to make that extra pass, Ernie.
Wow. You talk like a guard.
You
were like a point guard up there.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations, man. But don't force things. That's the other part. You know, just make the easy play. And if it's not there, slow it down. Set up your half-court offense, and then get it into the big guy if you have one.
But don't you want to get the crowd on its feet? Don't you want to make that play that gets the whole arena up?
Yes. You know what they used to call me, Ernie?
What's that?
Shaq Johnson.
Wow. Because he was like Magic, but he was Shaq.
I get it, Kenny.
Oh,
I get it.
Sometimes you don't.
Not that dense.
Oh, say does that star.
We'll be bringing you an interconference matchup in this one as the Spurs come into town. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some terrific NBA action. Along with Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. Here with us, basketball expert and former late-night comedy writer. A lot of people don't know this, Bill Simmons.
Yeah, as soon as I left, Kimmel's show took off, so
Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. San Antonio also making some changes. Pirtle, he is checked in for Gasol. Ginobili comes in for Rudy Gay. And it's Mills in for DeJounte Murray. Bill, one shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a three. He's got the pull-up hezzy jumper, as he calls it. He can go to the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step. And I just think he has the most moves. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number one choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
On the court right now for the Spurs, DeRozan and Aldridge, the talented forward duo. Mills and Manu at the guards. And it's Pirtle in at the center, locking down the middle. And here's Mills for three. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Talking about last-second shot instincts, Bill, you mentioned LeBron, KD. What about Curry? Where does Curry rank in that conversation?
Curry's good.
Top five?
You can guard Curry in those one-on-one situations with the right people. I'm not saying you're going to stop him, but, you know, you put a taller guy on him. And Curry, to me, Curry is the greatest not in the offense scorer I've ever seen in my life, where he can get 32 and hit 10 threes and wasn't really involved in the game. Just, you forget about him for one play, and all of a sudden he's in the corner and they're setting him up, or he's running off the screen. It's a lot, almost like what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were able to do, where, yeah, you run them off screens and you tire the guys out and you kind of hope the defense forgets they're out there. But he's not a conventional get-out-of-my-way guys. I'm going to get to the rim.
Absolutely.
Score like someone like Donovan Mitchell is.
And they pick up two.
Well, with big hands and nice touch, Pirtle knows how to finish in the post. This guy has a lot in his arsenal.
Indiana trailing here. Paul outside. Pass to Young. AI outside. And that one drops for him. AI's got the game tied up here for the Pacers. Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree. But for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
You challenge people, which is that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk, and we did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
I want to get back to what we were chatting about, Bill, with how today's NBA players are so media ready, whether it be interviews or social media. Your take is really interesting.
I think in general, all these guys, the guys now are so used to talking to people and being in front of people, and, they're not surprised by questions, and they know how to handle themselves. They know how to not get in trouble, and they're comfortable.
Plus maybe they've kind of grown up with you, though, too. You know what? You've been relevant for many years. Well, they've grown up with your stuff.
To be honest, a lot of them just know me as the white guy on NBA Countdown. They might not have read me, but they remember like that year I was with Jalen Rose. But what's weird is
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, you know this too. When you're on TV, the credibility you get from being on TV, I wasn't prepared for within the NBA.
Oh, really?
I think that's true, yeah. I think it's like, oh, he's on TV, he's okay. And maybe they don't agree with you all the time, but you've passed some imaginary checkpoint with those guys.
Well, you may think that TV was your validation. This is going to be your validation.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
This is it. I'm stamping you right now.
This is better than winning a Pulitzer Prize.
Inside, Young. And Young slams it home.
You don't pass for the sake of passing. You wait until the defense commits. And AI doing that, finding the man breaking open.
San Antonio leading. Always a spirited debate, Bill, around the NBA. Which team was the best ever? I know you have an opinion on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I used to feel really strongly about my opinion on this, but I think basketball has changed so much over this decade that I'm not even positive how you could compare what this Warriors team is versus what... I always thought the 86 Celtics were the best team, but the 86 Celtics were built... I always compared it to a hockey team on a power play where you're just trying to get closer and closer to the net and crowd the net, and they were just built around getting layups and the best possible shots. The Warriors are built around math and shooting threes and spacing the floor. And if you took the 86 Celtics and indoctrinated them in that style for 5 years, they all would have been shooting threes, and they probably would have done it better than the Warriors, but I don't know. So I almost have like the before-after with theirs. I think the Warriors are the best team of the math era, but I still think the 86 Celtics were the best start-to-finish season anyone's had. The dark horse for me was the 01 Lakers, the second Lakers team. When Shaq and Kobe, they had won the year before, rocky first few months, and then they figured out whatever they needed to figure out, and Phil Jackson probably sprinkled some Zen fairy dust on them or whatever he did, and they just ripped through the league. And they came very close to going undefeated in the playoffs. So that would be my dark horse.
Knocks it loose. Paul with the steal. A rebound by the Spurs.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Ginobili kicks to Bellinelli. Pirtle dishes to Bellinelli. Here's Ginobili. 5 on the clock. Here's Pertinis. Rebounded by McDermott.
Boy, not enough spring in his step on the way to the cup. He actually short arms that layup.
And he's a team player who enjoys involving his guys. AI, someone you can trust to share the rock.
Mills passes to Bertans. Count it.
He's got such soft touch around the rim. The D has to try to keep him out of the paint, because if he gets close, it's lights out.
And it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
And they're making sure on this one, even though it may not matter in the grand scheme, but the replay process is faster than ever. You know, why not?
And they're keeping the call as is. It was close, but he had not released it before the clock had expired.
Yeah, still better safe than sorry. I think they did the right thing to take another look at it. And if it's so close that you can't.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Pacers lead by 1. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. DeMar DeRozan last season opened up about his battles with depression, hoping to have a positive impact on others.
The people ashamed to talk about it.
Yep, you love the honesty and the bravery to step forward and tell his emotional story.
Yeah, he opened a dialogue. Kevin Love following his lead to talk about anxiety. Athletes as public figures can have a broader impact than just entertaining, and we see it over and over again.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Pacers?
I mean, so far that they're not settling for outside shots, really attacking the paint.
I think that's what you've got to do, right? If the looks on the interior are there, you have got to attack.
On the court for San Antonio, Mills and Manu at the guards. Then there's Bellinelli. Then there's Pirtle. And it's Bertinason at the 4-man position. Paul kicks to Joseph. And out of bounds is San Antonio gains possession. Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shot philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James, and it's carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we see new players coming into prominence for the San Antonio Spurs. Now, Greg Popovich gives his veterans credit for accepting it gracefully and helping the young guys be successful. He says it's a tribute to their character and awareness. Kevin?
They certainly have established a great culture in San Antonio. Really something. DA, thank you. Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now. And I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how, Paul Pierce, who knew how to handle their business. Now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all. And you had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old,
Polished.
giving, long interviews to reporters. It's how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
already good at being a bad interview.
He's
like he
19 years
he
old.
doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable. Bill, a top advisor for the U.S. High School Athletics and Activities Division, recommended that schools adopt esports programs. What's your take on that?
I'm all in. It's probably my son's only chance to go to college. So I really hope it happens. Now, listen, The world changes every decade.
I know.
And you got to change with it. And the reality is esports is one of the biggest things we have now. And if you're under 15, you're way more likely to play video games and be good at that than you are to do anything else. So why wouldn't we be able to benefit from that? The whole esports in general, just the audiences they're getting and as a spectator event, that's been building. So why wouldn't that work for college?
And the basket is good.
Now, Corey Joseph does not lack for confidence on the interior. Don't let the size fool you. The frame, the game, it's all there.
And Bellinelli kicks to Pirtle. Gay left side. Connects on the 17-footer. Gay's got 4 points in the quarter. Thinking about how much sports video gaming has changed over the decades, Bill, can you imagine a 13, 14-year-old Bill Simmons with the 2K product? You would just be all over that, wouldn't you?
You have no idea, Kevin Harlan. I was there for every step of the video game revolution. I had an Intellivision and an Atari. I had Nintendo. I had Super Nintendo. I had all 3 of the first PlayStations.
You played them all the time.
I played entire Madden seasons on the treadmill when I was like in my early 30s. Try playing any video game on the treadmill. Try it. And try not falling off. It's impossible. I've been there every step of the way. I am pro esports. Basketball, I'm jealous of the people who can play 2K well because there's just, not sound like an old guy, but so many buttons and so many things to remember. I'm always so impressed when people just remember all the combinations and stuff. I'm jealous.
Like your son does it.
My son can
plays
do it.
Again. I know
but I could have done it. I know you could have. I want to take 1984 me out of a time machine and just give me this game. I would have unleashed.
Yeah, but 13-year-old Bill Simmons would like what 40-year-old Bill Simmons is.
13-year-old Bill Simmons would be amazed that 48-year-old Bill Simmons was getting paid to do anything. He'd really be excited about that. Just that he wasn't living at home. We would have been fired up.
First one falls for. Bill, your long-lost cousin Ben Simmons headlined a tremendous rookie class in 2000. In fact, people might think it's the best rookie season ever in the history of the league.
A lot of good players. Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum. Do we count Simmons in that class, though? I guess
since he won the Rookie of the Year, let's put him in there.
All right, we'll put him in there.
Technically.
I think if you come out of a year of rookies and you get one guy who has a chance to be a franchise guy, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. We had 3. If you're doing 3 a year for 10 years, you have the most ridiculous league of all time. I think the talent ebbs and flows, and we've had stretches. Like I think last decade, in the 2000s, especially like from about 03 to 07, 08, like we were just short all-stars. We were just short a few guys, and you saw teams like the Nets with Jason Kidd made the finals 2 years in a row, and you saw the Ben Wallace Pistons team actually win the title.
With no superstars.
Right. And you saw, in 06, the Pistons, remember they were on pace to win 70 games, they had 4 All-Stars. The league just wasn't that good, and now it's flipped, and it's so loaded. I think from a talent standpoint, as good as any year since 1993.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Yeah, which 25 years ago, we're just loaded with guys who could be Hall of Famers someday, or 8-time All-Stars, things like that. So now you look at this 17 class, Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum, just right there. That's awesome. I still believe in Lonzo, and I still believe in De'Aaron Fox. I think those guys can be All-Stars too.
To the inside, and the dunk by Aldridge.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Yeah, with the score this close, guys, I am shocked at the lack of defensive aggressiveness. That has to be shored up.
And really good shot selection there. Evans looking locked in and comfortable from that range.
Here's Murray. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Indiana leading. AI outside. Evans kicks to Paul. Back to Evans. Shot clock at 6. To the middle. Shoots over DeRozan. They grab their own miss. Turner. Some solid defense from Gasol. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. The pass to Murray. Aldridge a screen. Murray the pass to Aldridge. Tries again. Back to Murray. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. You know, Bill, you look at the Pacers from last season, took the Cavs to Game 7, surpassing what a lot of people thought they could do.
Yeah, I think they even surpassed what probably LeBron thought they were going to do.
I think so.
They have a really good home court advantage. It's my favorite arena other than Boston.
Is
of all
it really?
the arenas. Yeah, because they built it for basketball. I think a lot of these arenas get built for basketball and hockey, and the fans are a little bit further away and stuff like that. In Indiana, even the corners are right on the court, and if it's the right team in the right atmosphere, it's spectacular.
Great point. And the Pacers call time here.
And guys, you know, you never run out of things that
And we're through the first. Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Turner. McDermott comes in for Bogdanovich. Joseph, he's checked in for Tyreek Evans. And Paul subbed in for Darren Collison. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Pirtle, he's checked in for Gasol. Bertanis comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Bellinelli, he's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Mills in for Murray. AI is out there with Corey Joseph. Then it's Sabonis. Then it's McDermott. And it's O'Quinn in at the pivot spot manning the middle. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Here's Gay. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
And got to admire how Gay sees the floor. Effortlessly shredding the D on that drive. Just a fantastic penetrator.
Paul kicks to Sabonis. Back to Paul. Uses the glass to finish the layup. AI's got it all tied up now for the Pacers.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Bertanis passes to Mills. Stolen by O'Quinn. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
Yeah, terrific performance. Really sync on both sides of the ball.
Well, especially offensively. The chemistry these guys have is infectious, and it really shows.
Just lackluster transition D. That is just too easy.
Oh, come on, you got to put up at least a little bit of a fight, right? He simply ran down the court and goes right to the cup.
Mills can't hit. The Pacers have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. AI in the post, covered by Mills. Foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
And with AI, yes, you get the athleticism, but you also get the focus. Nice job sticking with the play and finishing.
So far in the game, he's gone 2 for 4 from the free throw line. TJ Leafs checked in for Indiana, and that one misses. And for the Pacers, they come in off a great outing against Charlotte. Here's Gay. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Gay's got 4 points this quarter.
And I like the energy of Gay, especially inside. He's incredible at getting to his spots in the paint.
AI, no good. For San Antonio, they've gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark.
Well, there's no consistency from the field in this quarter. We'll see if he can get his shot going.
And a former G League standout, AI is definitely a special talent. One of the guys who's always working to improve his game.
For Indiana, they have gone 5 of 8 from the charity stripe here tonight. And the first one at the line is good. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for McDermott. And both free throws good for AI. Spurs trail by 4.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. Poked loose. Paul with the steal. Pass to O'Quinn. And Joseph kicks to Leaf. All up top, covered by Mills. Here's Leaf, and counted, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Boy, don't you love the way AI moves the ball? He lets the play develop, puts the pass on time and on target.
The Pacers have made 7 free throws and missed 3 in this game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
Spurs trail by 7. It's Pirtle top of the key. Here's Bellinelli. The teardrop falls in. Bellinelli's got 5 points so far.
And when Pirtle sees one of his guys wide open, he whips it his way. He's all for doing what's best for the team.
Young against Gay. Gay with the defensive effort. The Spurs have gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. And Mills kicks to Bellinelli. Got it. Good job in the low post. And now just a 3-point Pacer lead.
Yeah, and Bellinelli, very creative, has that ability to get into the heart of the defense.
Right wing. Passes it to Young. Call outside. Some nice passing here by Indiana. 4 on the clock. Leave passes to O'Quinn. Near the 3-point line, it's Joseph. And that one goes long.
The D slow to rotate, and he misses out on an easy chance from mid-range.
The 3 from Mills. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. 8 points for him.
If they think they can give him that shot and get away with it, think again, gentlemen.
AI kicks to Joseph. Back to AI. Pass to O'Quinn. Joseph with the ball. Here's Paul. And that one is good. Paul's got 21 in the game.
I'd pay to see this. Watching AI go to work, score in a variety of ways. This guy unstoppable right now.
The pass to Young. Back to AI. And there's the feed to O'Quinn. Can't connect from short range.
Well, it looks like he's going to get the easy 2 points, but the defense recovers just in time to affect it.
Here's Gay. Another one falls for San Antonio.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Paul passes to Young. AI dishes to Joseph. O'Quinn, high post. He feeds it to Paul. That shot is off. And the Spurs going the other way now. That'll be the second on the road in the midst of this long 4-game road stand. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. AI really making a difference here.
Well, you wonder if with this timeout they're going to shake things up defensively, because everything they've thrown at him to this point has not worked. He's on a roll.
The Pacers making a switch here. Collison's out there. And San Antonio also making a switch. Ano Ginobili's checked in for Bertans. Young with the steal. Here's AI. And Pirtle pulls it down. Pirtle's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Mills passes to Bellinelli. And with this chance, let's quickly go to our rookie leaderboard and find out who the top assist men are among the first-year players. AI is second.
A number of gifted passers entering the NBA this season, and he's right up there among the very best. I like what I've seen from him as a distributor.
Boy, he's just been so consistent, right? I mean, every time he's gotten to the stripe, he's delivered. This is great stuff.
Kicks it to Young. Pass to Leaf. O'Quinn, high post. Just 5 on the clock. Collison, the pass to AI. Back to Collison. Rebounded by the Spurs. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, LaMarcus Aldridge and the Spurs got through some tension in their relationship early on. Now, Greg Popovich said it became apparent that it really was me. He'd been in the league for 9 years. I'm not going to turn him into some other player. That was just silly. So we took care of it, and he's been fantastic. Guys?
That's why Pop is the best in the business, DA. He's always going to figure it out. Thanks. A nice shot by AI.
Well, analyze the situation, size up the defense. AI knocks down the mid-range.
And Mills kicks to Gay. Ginobili outside. 1:52 left in the third. Stolen by Collison. Here's Leaf. Mills with the rebound.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Back to Ginobili. Pirtle sets the pick for Ginobili. Bellinelli passes to Pirtle. On the wing, Bellinelli. There's a good screen. And it's San Antonio with another.
And Bellinelli moves well in these situations, staying active at all times and being rewarded there with his effort.
AI dishes to O'Quinn. Collison kicks to Leaf. Looks for Paul. Hits it to him. Shoots from 12. San Antonio with the rebound. Pirtle's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Young with the steal. The shot's good from Leaf. Leaf's got the game tied up here for Indiana.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Boy, just a step quicker than the defense, really. Catching them off guard and capitalizing well.
Mills. It's rebounded by Indiana. 36 seconds left in the third. AI passes to Young and stolen by Gay. It doesn't go for him. Good defensive work there by Young. The Pacers shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Yep, that one goes. Mills has got 7 points here in this quarter.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Here's Paul. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. Spurs lead by 2. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from it. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter form.
And when you're the beneficiary of a
Checked in for Indiana. And San Antonio also making a switch. Bellinelli's checked in. Call against Murray. AI in the post. A rebound by the Spurs. Aldridge has got rebound number 8 now on the night. On the floor for San Antonio, Murray and DeRozan in the backcourt together. Inside, it's the veterans, Aldridge and Gasol. And it's Bellinelli in at the 3. Shot clock at 6. And DeRozan kicks to Aldridge. Bellinelli with a screen on Sabonis. A wide open look here for DeRozan. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. Aldridge has got 3 assists tonight. Indiana's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Passes to Turner. Indiana moving the ball around. Here's AI. Can't hit that one. So the Spurs will take it the other way. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Oh, and the jam by DeRozan.
How about this? As a defender, it's not easy to deal with DeMar DeRozan when he's driving to the window. This guy, through contact, potent as a finisher.
AI kicks to Turner. DeRozan against Evans. Here's AI. Here's Turner. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
Miles Turner is simply a workhorse. I mean, he keeps plays alive with his length and activity.
Nabbing another steal. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end.
Now Murray. Outside Aldridge. Aldridge a screen. Pass to Bellinelli. 6 on the shot clock. DeRozan a screen on Sabonis. Off the screen. The shot by Bellinelli. No good.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
Well, you know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
From 10 feet out, a rebound by Gasol. Gasol's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Feeds to DeRozan. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. 19 points for DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, my goodness. You could tell DeMar DeRozan demanded the basketball. He wanted the chance to be the deciding factor.
Timeout called the Pacers. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams. And so it's San Antonio with the win. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.